Happy Friday, my people. This is Popanalysis, and I'm checking in with you. We are on the cusp of Memorial Day weekend, so hopefully, you guys got some really cool things planned out. We've had a tumultuous week in politics, but there's always something going on new, right? This to me probably has been something that just fell up on my radar. I was just like, seeing something in the news about the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, allegedly, allegedly. And this was just something that I just could not pass on discussing. It was really sad for me to look upon this, but basically, unfortunately, the NAACP has set their eyes on a new target, and that is young Black male athletes. All right. We know that they have been dominating sports. In fact, it is one of the ways, and it obviously only affects a very small group of people because there's only a small group of people that get to actually go off and, get into sports, and then to be able to do something that they love, that they absolutely love, depending on where their background is from. A lot of them pulled out of poverty as a result of that performance, being able to create generational wealth for their families. And so, what has come to my attention is that the NAACP is trying to manipulate, I would say, or use emotional blackmail to target young Black men. And here's how. I have this article pulled up on my screen, and this is about a new campaign initiative that the NAACP is engaging in. This is all in the wake of the crushing for them the Voting Rights Act, the decision out of Louisiana that struck down Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. This is for immediate release. This is from the actual NAACP. So this was their press release. This was May the 19th. All right. And so the NAACP today launched the Out of Bounds campaign, a national call for Black athletes, families, fans, alumni, and consumers to withhold athletic and financial support for public universities in states that have moved to limit, weaken, or erase Black voting representation in the wake of the Supreme Court's 6-3 ruling in the Louisiana versus Cali case, which gutted what was left of the Voting Rights Act. The NAACP identified 8 priority states. So here are the states they're going to be focusing on: Tennessee, Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, South Carolina, Texas, and Georgia, and targeted flagship public athletic programs generating more than $100 million in annual revenue that continue to recruit Black athletes while their state governments dismantle the political power of Black communities. What does this have to do with these Black athletes? Honestly, in the fact that we're labeling it Black power, yeah, I mean, Section 2 said basically the Supreme Court said there is no race based districting. So there's no such thing as a Black district. And this is the frustration. They're arguing because they want more segregation throughout the South, or falsely drawn seats giving them power in the South. All right. But they are trying to bring the youth in here. All right. The campaign goes on to say, what these states have done is not a policy disagreement. It is a sprint to erase Black political power, said Derek Johnson, president and CEO of the NAACP. These actions happen in days, in some cases in hours, of a Supreme Court ruling that gives extremist lawmakers a playbook to erode Black representation. The NAACP will not watch the same institutions that depend on Black athletic prowess to fill their stadiums and their bank accounts remain silent while their states strip Black communities of their voice. Out of bounds is our answer. We are naming the contradiction, and we are calling on Black athletes, families, fans, and consumers to act on it. The same power that built these programs can be redirected, and it will be. The economic stakes of the campaign are significant. The flagship universities in the 8 targeted states collectively generate billions of dollars in annual athletic revenue. All right, so I will not read the whole article, but you can actually find it if you go to the NAACP's website. The title is NAACP calls on Black athletes and fans to withhold support of public schools in states attacking Black voting rights. Now, what does the kids have to do with this? All right, the kids are the most vulnerable amongst us. And the fact that they are actually engaging in this and calling for this campaign to be activated is really sad and pathetic. And I think it shows truthfully, NAACP, you are trying to basically disrupt, interrupt, suppress, or put on the back burner the ambitions of a young Black male who has bust his behind off, working probably tirelessly to be able to obtain a scholarship, to be able to reach certain levels of performance in order to be able to advance, to prepare and get himself ready for what could be a career in pro sports, professional sports, a dream, the dream of a lifetime. And you're trying to get them involved in politics because you care about Black power. The NAACP at this point is a joke. This is why it's like, are you pro-Black or is it simply that you're pro-Democrat? That's just the bottom line. I mean, the veil has been lifted. They've been exposed. And this Voting Rights Act, the implications, is going to be amazing to watch because we are seeing the actual degradation of the Democratic Party in their stronghold that they have had through all these little organizations who do everything based on race, race, race. These organizations, it's the same reason why the SPLC had to basically manufacture racism and hate groups to basically, this is how they would like justify their existence through actually having these organizations. Now they create the hate, then they respond to the hate, then they expose the hate to declare to us that, look, we have these white supremacists and hate groups out here. It's all a scheme, guys. And the veil has been lifted. There's lots of people waking up. And I was just so disappointed in seeing this because it's like, you guys, this is so pathetic. Worse is that you have the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, out here capping. Basically, he's out here also making a call. Let me get to that part for you. Just disturbing, insane, and it's sad. It's just sad. So I am going to take you there, guys. Just give me a second. Yeah. It's just crazy. So if you guys can bear with me, here we go. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
On Black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
Right.
We are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP and its call for athletes to boycott institutions within the SEC that belong to states that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics, which is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And we believe that the silence of these institutions is complicity.
That's right.
And we will not stand for it.
So now, since we're done listening to Timu Obama, Timo Obama strikes again. And I mean, it's just sad because, like, really, you're the House Minority Leader and this is what you're doing? Like, really? Really? So disturbing. Ay, 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 ay. So House Minority Leader, obviously, Hakeem Jeffries, Timo Obama, Dollar Tree Obama is doubling down on this foolishness. This is exactly why they do not need to be in power. I mean, it's just if you listen to everything is so performative, and it's like they have the audacity to actually come at people with this. I got one more thing to show you guys, and I'm going to share right now. I'm getting this up on my screen. My apologies. And it is this. So we know we have the NAACP, right? And you guys can't see because I have this big thing on my screen, but Salty Goat, this is somebody I follow on X, and you can verify this information, right? So the bottom three candidates were endorsed by the NAACP, right? So these three people down here. The woman on the left, Abigail Spanberger, is a former CIA agent. That's who just won the governorship in Virginia. Obama went out there and campaigned against the Black candidate, Republican Winsome Earl Sears, and the NAACP supported the white woman over the Black woman in the state of Virginia. Same here. You have this Democrat here, Ami Bera, who was endorsed over the Black Republican. Unfortunately, it's the R thing. Tamika Hamilton. Same case here. The Democrat Steve Cohen was endorsed over the other Black candidate, Miss Charlotte Bergman. So there is consistency here. There is a pattern, but it seems that they're not really pro-Black. What they are is actually pro-Democrat. And we know that's a big difference, right? So it's hypocrisy. I do not see how the NAACP can be out here, that the president could actually be out stating these things, that they put out a press release, that they really have the audacity to cosplay pro-Blackness when it's all about pro-Democrat, right? But you know what? The jig is up. More people are waking up. They're not falling for the shenanigans. People understand when they talk about inclusivity, they are not talking about inclusivity of thoughts and they want to bring everyone together. It's only about the people that actually agree with them, and the people that disagree with them kick rocks. Okay, they can kick rocks. So the Democrats have really shown their hand here. I don't know the way forward, right? What this is going to look like, but what I do know is that this Voting Rights Act, I'm sorry, guys, I'm still playing around with this thing. What I do know is that the Voting Rights Act and this case that happened out of Louisiana, the implications are going to be incredible. The ripples of it is going to get incredible. And we have to be careful because, these people get dangerous when they get angry and they feel like that there's no choices for them. They get dangerous when they feel like, their back is against the wall. So some things that are going to be coming up is the election. We know the House, the Senate's gone crazy right now. They're pissed off at the president because he endorsed in the Texas runoff race, he endorsed Ken Paxton over the incumbent John Cornyn. The Senate is demonstrating, they're protesting right now. They went to recession, even though there's important legislation and like bills that they actually need to pass. You are going to have the Charlie Kirk trial, I believe, coming up soon. So, and that's going to be a public trial. So that's going to be something to watch. But there's something going on all the time But I would say in this season, I'm still considering it and still calling it Ultra MAGA season. If you've been paying attention to politics and what just happened in the past week in the wins and with the defeating of Thomas Massey, and there's a lot of angry people. There's meltdowns going on online. And one thing I could tell you, and from what I see and from being part of this thing for the past decade, is that the MAGA movement is still very much alive and well. And MAGA is what's taking everybody out in these primaries. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you stayed here thus far, I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe, and keep tuning in. I'm trying to grow my audience, guys. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Bye now.